Today we're heading into the delicious world of TMF Cake Designs. We're chatting all things cake with Teresa about business and what goes on behind the scenes, and there's way too much to fit into one video. So this is part one. Let's get into it.
From miles to aisles, let's go.
Yeah.
So we were talking about weddings, you get one shot.
Yep.
You get one shot at the day. There's no dress rehearsal.
Shot.
There's no quickly running to Woolies or Coles to get another cake because your other cake didn't make it, didn't taste good, or for whatever reasons, you get one shot.
Yep.
So why is it important that you have a professional person to make your cake?
Well, as that you only have one shot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so to be able to know how to fix things, you know, like, because you really don't have a second take with a wedding cake. And, you know, like, if you do, you're going to be, you know, losing a lot of profit.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so you really have to,
Yeah.
you really only just have one shot, you know, like.
And it's something, a wedding cake is, everyone eats it.
But yeah.
Everyone has a slice of that cake,
Yes.
and that's something that they are going to
Yes.
remember.
Yeah.
Whereas people don't always think that the cake has that much
No.
emphasis on your
No.
day, but it's the one tradition that we're actually keeping through weddings.
Yeah, and it's been like, yes, there has like times when, you know, people go, oh, it's just a cake. Do people really eat it? And I'm like, yes, they do.
Yeah.
The people that want cake will eat it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, I feel that is very important.
Yeah.
Like, it's, you know, like the first cake of you being husband and wife and celebrating with your guests that you have invited for your day.
Yeah.
You know, like, I just think that why would you not want to end your day with a piece of cake?
With a sweet treat.
Or even with, you know, at the start of your reception, you know,
Yeah.
like, get some nice photos.
I've even married people who don't eat cake, but
They
still
have a cake.
have a cake and
Yeah.
cut the cake because that is the tradition.
And it doesn't matter how big it is. It doesn't matter how big it is, you know, how flash, you know, like how many sugar flowers you have.
Yeah.
Have fresh flowers, but just still have a cake.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
because it's normally cutting the cake is your first thing as husband and wife. It's your
Yeah.
first duty as
Yeah.
husband and wife.
Yeah.
And that's the one tradition out of everything for
And
weddings
celebrate.
that's still,
Yes.
you know, still with us. Now, you
Yeah.
started as Cake Mania many, many moons ago
Yeah.
now. Why did we transition into TMF?
For this reason, is because wedding cakes have meaning, and you just need a cake. Like,
Yeah.
weddings are like something, like, for these types of cakes, you know what I mean? Like, I love fondant cakes, buttercream cakes, you know.
I'll take
Yes.
the buttercream, you have the fondant.
Yeah,
Yep.
but you know, like, I'm here to educate. I'm
Okay.
here, like,
All right.
I think that people
You're gonna sway
really,
me
yeah,
today.
because, you know, like, when you do a fondant cake, it's the fondant should really only be thin.
Okay.
You know, so then you got the nice ganache underneath, and you can have buttercream layers. So
So you could have it all into
you
one.
can have it all into one.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
And you just take the fondant off because it's this much.
Yeah.
So the reason why you have fondant cake
Yeah.
is because it seals and keeps the cake fresh.
Ah, okay.
And it's just good for a lot of weather.
Yeah,
You know,
okay.
different weather. So a fondant cake is great for, you know, air conditioned, where buttercream is,
It's not good.
yeah. Well, it's good, but there's a lot more logistics
Okay.
with a buttercream cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're going to go into logistics a little later on.
Yes.
But as for wedding cakes itself, where did that passion start?
My brother's cakes. Also, I feel wedding cakes, I don't know, I just have that passion. Like, I just love creating I love the detail of a wedding cake and what it actually means. Like, that's, to me, that's, you know, that's
Yeah.
pretty special. Yeah.
Now, if I come to you and I've got absolutely no idea on where to start, what
Yeah.
I want, I don't have a Pinterest board full
Yeah.
of inspiration.
Yeah.
You've got some pretty cool things happening around here. How do you seek the inspiration, or with your client, how do you draw that out of them?
So I ask them, like, what they've got planned for their day. Sometimes, like, I get some couples come to me and they actually haven't organised anything, they just have organised me first.
Yeah.
Because they haven't, like gotten anything else organised. But I get them to send me 3 images of, wherever they find it, or of their dress, of their invitations, like of their vibe for their whole day. And then I will sort of give them a few ideas. But usually I can tell. So if they send me 3 pictures, I tell them not to send any more than 3 because I can actually see a pattern of what they like. So then that actually gives me a really good indication of what they're wanting. So yeah, so
that's how much involved a cake is. You need to know what's actually happening throughout the
and
entire
the weather, the whole day. So I have to know like where you're gonna stand it, like how you're gonna cut it, how you're serving it, desserts, coffee, you're having it at the end of the night. So there's a lot.
So this is the difference between someone who is just doing it as a hobby and someone who does it professionally.
And allergies, like all of that, like everything.
Yeah. We've all got all different allergies now: dairy, milk, soy, gluten. How do you cater for so many different, food requirements?
I used to be able to build it into the cake, which if you're having all gluten-free, that's easy for me. But when you're talking dairy-free, nut-free, whatever else, I actually sort of...
All the freeze.
I actually, because I'm not an allergy-free kitchen. However, I do suggest them to just have cupcakes or maybe a smaller cake and not include it into the larger cake because it's just too hard, and it's just a bit too much risk. So, yeah.
And do you bake them separately then?
Yeah. So I will bake all the allergy ones first and then do that because, I have done a few celiacs and never had any issues because I I clean everything. And I actually have different tools. So I have ones that I use for allergies and ones that I use for... and my mixers, which I'm in the process of getting another mixer just for gluten-free because otherwise I clean out everything. I do have a separate mix beater though. Yeah.
It's like a makeup artist.
It's like, and then your tools, like you got to have different tools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not using your everyday,
Most of your decorating stuff is all gluten-free.
Yeah.
Majority of it. You just have to read the ingredients. Yeah.
But what a great special way to still include everyone into your wedding day and for them to have
you can still
a little cupcake on their own.
It's decorated. You can still theme it to the whole vibe and within reason.
And how long does it take? An estimated guess. How long does it take from the start of the process from when the couple inquires with you to them eating it on the day of their wedding?
So it's probably like a 2-week whole process by the time you get in there, and because there's a lot of a few back and forth emails. Some are pretty standard, but ones that are wanting something different, then you've got the whole process of sitting down, working out whether the flavours are going to match, whether the flavours are going to be good for the weather, all that sort of stuff.
And how, for weather here in central Queensland, we have scorching summers, majority way through the year. How do we eliminate melting, the cake going off?
Having a cold room. So you need to have a cold room, especially for buttercream cakes and any perishable fillings, like raspberry and lemon. So buttercream ones, I usually keep all those types of fillings to those because you can bring them out. But then once you bring it out, you need to keep it in the box so it doesn't sweat and all that. So you get like a whole sheet of what you process and what you need to do when you bring it out. If you're going to bring it out and cut it straight away, then don't worry about it, good to go. But if you're going to leave it sit there for a little bit, then there's a process, to take it out of the cold because of the temperature difference, especially if you're going to be in an outside wedding. In an air conditioner, it's probably not too bad, but
So how, like, when would we collect our cake? Would we collect it the day before, the night before, the week before, on the day?
Well, I like to deliver all wedding cakes.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I like to deliver all wedding cakes. However, if you got a small one, then you can pick it up the day before. But if you're doing a mud cake, you can pick it up even Wednesday, you know, a couple of days before, as long as you got an air conditioner and you're going to store it. Because most fondant cakes, unless they have a filling and you're going to do all white, they can go in the fridge. But if you got all decorations, then it's a bit hard.
Now that must be a really good selling tool for TMF Cakes, is that I know your branded vehicle out there. Now you travel all up the Central Queensland Highway,
yeah.
Central Highlands as well.
I actually know every bump.
You know every
Between
speed
here
bump
and
and
there, yeah.
pothole.
And I'm sure
Well, you'd have
people
to.
behind me, they see me go, they're like, oh, she's got a cake on board.
She's got you need the baby on board, but
Yeah,
the cake
I do.
on
I have.
board.
I have cake on board.
We'll get some film of that. But I guess that's the difference between yourself and, you know, the next person in line is that personalised delivery that we don't have to worry about.
No.
How the cake
You don't
gets
have
from
to
go
worry.
to woe.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
sometimes I'm asked as a celebrant
I know.
to take the cake out and put it on the table, and I've just completely lost it. It's probably the most.
It's actually
nerve-wracking
very
part.
stressful. Yeah, and a lot of people actually don't. So I've added something into my service that I will actually cut the cake. Like if you have a reception photo before the reception, like after the ceremony, like in between that area, I will cut the cake for you and serve it, so then it's already on platters in the fridge and you just bring it out.
And that's a good point, because what most couples don't understand is you actually pay an extra
And you
service
have to
fee
pay an extra service
for catering to slice your
Cut the
cake,
cake,
and have it prepared, which most couples don't really think of or understand. And when you are cutting the cake, and I've actually had to cut the cake before, there's actually a certain technique to cutting,
is.
say, you know, something like with 3 levels or layers, as to opposed to a rectangle cake, and presenting it nice. Because don't forget,
that's what I should have had was, I can show you that.
Oh, I'd love
the next
to.
one.
Yeah. But you've spent so much time and money on the actual presentation of the cake. You want to serve it nice.
You want it to, look nice. So if you're going to serve it as a dessert piece, you want it to look like a dessert piece, something that you can have with your raspberry coulis or your, bit of custard ice cream.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, what is...
I see some cakes that are just chopped in wedges and I'm like, oh.
Well, I'm
So I
glad
just
you
go
weren't
like
there
this.
at the wedding. I'm glad you
I'm
weren't
like,
at the wedding that I had to cut the cake. I had to do this a few weeks ago,
that,
but I'm about to learn today where the caterers left.
Oh,
And,
no. I always ask, so when my couples come to me, I always ask who's cutting the cake.
Yeah.
Have you organised somebody to cut the cake? And that prompted me to actually add this service in, because they're like, oh, well, I don't know. Like,
You do not want to butcher the cake.
No.
You don't want to butcher the cake. And you don't
And
also...
you know what? I find that sometimes that's why people don't
Yeah.
eat the cake, because it doesn't look... Because it looks appealing when you see it on display, and then it's like, oh.
But you don't want to leave that up to mum or grandma or auntie,
because they want to
they're there
enjoy the day. Yeah, that's exactly right.
And not have the stress about how
Exactly.
to cut the cake,
Yeah.
where to cut the cake.
Yeah.
Are we saving pieces of the cake?
Yeah.
Which level
Yeah.
or layer of
Yep.
the cake are
Yep.
we cutting?
Yep. And you can organise like little take-home boxes, so I can have all those ready, like in the cold room for people just to take,
And what a great point that we don't need to leave the cake cutting until into the reception now.
No.
We can go through your ceremony,
You don't have to be-
straight into cutting your cake, so
Yep.
then it's done,
Yep.
it's fresh, it's ready
It's
to go.
ready to go.
You don't have to serve it then and there. You
No.
can leave it for the reception. But that
Yep.
way, you've still got yourself there to make sure it's all beautifully
Yep.
presented, ready
Yep.
to go. It's as fresh as candy,
Yep.
ready to come out after you've served dinner or however
and
that
it's
flows.
and it's also, there's no storage. Like I will come and bring it like at the latest I can for when you want to do photos. So then it's just displayed, cut in the fridge.
So how far have you travelled for your cakes?
Townsville for a wedding cake.
Okay.
That was for Ange.
Wow.
And Nick, yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, that was
Yep, that's a bit of a hike.
That was, it was
a
a good, it was good. It was, I had to take like 160 macarons as well. So
Now, that's a great segue into, if we don't want to have a cake, what can we have instead? Or what I loved at the Wedding Expo was your beautiful styrofoam displays where if someone is possibly highly allergic or we just don't eat cake, but I still want to have the cake
still want the
there,
big cake, yes.
that's something that you offer as well.
Yeah, so that's what this is a styrofoam cake. And you can design it to whatever your theme, vibe, whatever else is, and then you can have a kitchen cake. We can do a kitchen cake, you know, at the back where, you know, the chefs will cut it up, you know, which I did one at the Paddock, which is now called the Capri. And the chefs were like, oh my God, because I actually pre-cutted it. I pre-cut the cake.
Oh, wow.
So it was all in, and they're like, oh my God, this is the best. And I saw a couple of photos and it just looks amazing.
Yeah.
Like even just the cut cake.
Yeah.
Like that is just, it looks great.
So where did you learn your incredible creative skills? Your artistic flair that you have here. Where did you get that from?
Just doing.
You were born with it.
I've always loved to draw though when I was younger. So I did art at school. I did art like in the younger grades, you know, like grade 8 and 9. I did it in the older ones too, but I only went to grade 10 because, you know, the eldest of 10, education wasn't really, you know, the thing.
Yes. Yeah.
So, and that's when I went and worked in a takeaway shop and just worked my whole and I've always loved to draw landscapes. Like I've always had that creative thing. So when I see a dress, I actually see a cake. When I see I actually see what you can do. Like, you know, you can hand paint things and
And again, the difference between investing in someone for a $200 cake to versus, you know, a 4-figure cake there.
Yeah.
And especially if you're inviting 100 guests, 100 plus guests, or, you know, between 60 to 150 guests, you want that special moment. And you only get one shot to take that special moment as well. Now with flavours.
Yes.
How do we get those right?
Well, I have tasters, like you can purchase those online or, you purchase them online or you can come, I can do an in-person tasting as well. I can come to you. Like there's lots of ways that you can taste the cake before the day because you want to have the right flavour, you know, and also you want to have like the right vibe for your day. So, you know, if you want a dessert type cake, then you're going to go with a mud cake or, you know, like something that's nice and rich and you can add berries, you know, to complement it. Like there's a lot of things.
I guess that's something that we don't really think about too.
And you got to think of the weather as well, like, you know, how you're displaying it, how long it's going to be out for. So flavors matter.
Yeah, but I guess that's
that sort of
something
stuff.
too that we don't necessarily think about is what are you going to serve the cake with? Are you going to serve it on its own?
Yeah, with
cream. Are you serving it with cream, custard, and who's serving that for you?
Yes, that's right.
Is there a kitchen available? Are you having your wedding and reception out in the middle of the paddock?
Exactly.
Like so many of us do now. And what does that look like? It's the logistics part.
The logistics,
that, you know, matter as well. It's, I guess 50% of the time.
That's the decider of the end design, really, to be quite honest, is,
Now,
like
the wall here, so the creative wall here, tell me a bit about this. You've even got the colour wheel.
I've only just put that there because it's actually George and Willie, a George and Willie creation. I saw it and I've been wanting to get one for like years. And I've never sort of, like, you know, like how you evolve and, you know, and I'm like, I really want one of those. That'd be amazing. Like I can sit here and then I can, you know, draw, you know, my couple's cakes on there instead of having, you know, I do have a sketchbook, but I find that the book sometimes gets in the way, you know, like, and you got to flick through pages where I can have the person's cake that I'm working on can be just there and I can stick things on. And so, yeah, that's the idea of that. And to draw different concepts, you know, like different, you know, square, round, to see what's going to work. And also, I can take one picture of that and send it to them and say, this is my concept. So it's not just like Pinterest, you know, like I get the ideas, you get the ideas and people get ideas from there, but really I just think you should be unique.
Yeah, it can be overwhelming
It
too.
can be.
Pinterest, the
That's
TikToks,
exactly
the
right.
Reels,
Yeah.
it can all be
And they go, they
overwhelming.
like that and they like that. And I'm like, they're actually like two different styles of cake, you know, like do you want a buttercream cake or do you want a fondant cake? So
Yeah.
it can be sometimes it can be very confusing,
Yeah.
like for myself as well, because it's like, okay, so then it's a lot of work to actually pull what you actually want for your day. Yeah.
AI can't create that
AI
kind of things. Now, the other thing that we don't
No.
have to worry about here as well, this is your own separate space.
This is
to
my
the
sugar
main-
room.
To
Yes.
the main house
Yes.
as well.
Oh,
so
yes.
we
Yeah.
don't have to worry about cross-contamination. You have your food license as well.
Yeah.
And if you're wanting to serve cake at your wedding, you want to make sure that it's coming from a reliable source as well.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Someone who's insured.
Yes.
Someone who understands.
Well, these days you have to have your supervisor's certificate, you know, your food supervisor and all that sort of stuff as well. So
Yeah, and many hobbyists don't. And as we said, you get one shot at this really significant, important time.
Yeah. And also, I've also had, you know, like each to their own, but I've had people come back and say, oh, I should have got you to, you know, create it. And I was like, that's what I mean by like you only have one shot, because you're not going to, you know, have your wedding all over again to have a cake. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
like,
exactly
or
right.
get your photos taken. It doesn't matter what it is, really. Like, yeah.
And there's this beautiful trend with a long rectangle cake, and you stick
There's
your
candles
in
and
there,
you do like a whoop.
yeah, you do a whoosh, you do a whoosh to blow out.
So
the
whoever
cake.
wants one of those.
Exactly. So don't think that it has to be 3 layers or 4 layers or tiered cakes.
And
if
they're
that's what you
easy
call
to
them.
cut. The chefs love cutting those. So
Yeah, but
you know.
they're the photos that you're going to remember and have
They're
fun
interactive
with.
photos
They
as well.
are interactive
So you
with
can.
your
I
cake.
actually have like actually have my tiramisu. I just got my tiramisu clear acrylic. So I mean, you could even have photos of dusting your cocoa powder. You know, adding your own raspberries on there. Do you know what I mean?
Like interactive experience.
Yeah.
Decorate your cake on your day, or
have some flour. Do something where the photos and the videos that you'll get from that.
Yeah.
You know, I just feel that that's a memory
and I
that
always,
lasts a lifetime. You know.
I always say you can hire the best photographer, the best videographer, but if your elements, such as your celebrant, such as your DJ, such as your cake, such as your food, if those elements don't come together, your photographer or videographer is going to capture blank faces,
or
straight
nothing.
faces,
or nothing at all,
because you guys aren't having
that's right.
the best time.
Exactly.
So think about all these smaller elements and how they're going to come together so that your photographer and your videographer are capturing the best of the day. Because as I say, we can have the best lens, the best gear, the best mics.
You can't fix a cake,
but you can't fix people's reactions or emotions
exactly.
as well.
Yeah, emotions. Yeah, like I would.
I
could just imagine, you know, like a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be terrible.
And like we were having the conversation before.
Touch wood.
Yeah, touch wood. Like we were having the conversation.
16 years, never.
And still going strong.
Touching wood.
But like we say before, if you're looking to cut costs, the cake's not where to cut the costs.
No,
if you're wanting to
there's
grab
certain structures, you know, like there's certain structure that you need in the cake. So that's why I have a base price. You know, the base price includes all that. So if you want to cut cost, you can cut cost on decoration, but are you still going to be happy with it? Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, are you going to be? You can have a bare cake.
Save up for another year.
And or I've got payment like I have payment plans as well, you know, like you can pay it off.
Yeah.
Like I don't expect you to pay it straight up, but some people do. But
don't lose friendships or relationships because you've asked a friend of a friend or whatever. It's not the
And sometimes
place.
it's not what you want. Like a birthday cake?
Yeah, sure.
Depending on what birthday it is.
Yeah.
But you know, a wedding cake, a wedding is just a different level.
But also the insurance sides of things as well. Your friend doesn't have insurance, so that if somebody
does get sick,
if an egg, I don't know, the allergy advice, if something cross contaminates.
And that's the
with
other
your
thing
cake.
is that you have to give, like what is in your cake. You have to hand that over to somebody.
Yeah.
When I deliver, so
Yeah.
somebody has to be, available to take all that. So yeah.
And when you're
There's
thinking
responsibility everywhere, really.
yeah, there is, and it's only getting worse
It is.
as things go on. It's
Well,
only
the more
getting
rules
worse.
that come in, the more
Regulations.
responsibility, the more,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I guess that's something to think about when you're purchasing, or selecting your vendors. Is it's not just for your quick couple of hours that you actually make the cake.
Yeah.
It's the insurance, it's the accounting costs,
It's everything.
it's the food costs, it's
Yep.
the travel, it's the transport,
Yep.
it's logistics. There's so much more
So
into just the one day.
Yeah. So it's not just the cake you're paying for; it's everything.
Absolutely.
My time too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like I feel that's
But your creative
and,
skills.
and the skills that I've learned over 16 years. You can't just pick that up in a day.
No.
Do you know what I mean? So what I was doing, 16 years ago, I wouldn't be doing now. But I find that people have seen that. Like I've actually got a couple that have been following me for 15 years and they're getting married this year. So
Wow, how
that's
special.
the best.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's the experience. You can't buy the experience and the
No.
knowledge
Yep.
that you have.
Oh no, definitely not.
And that's where we'll leave part 1. But we're not finished yet. In part 2, we're getting to go behind the scenes and inside the TMF Cake Designs kitchen to see where all the magic actually happens. And if you've loved what you've seen, make sure you follow TMF Cake Designs on socials for more delicious creations. We'll see you next time.